Hey guys, we're back. This is going to be a 3-game tournament I played last weekend at Atomic Empire. The first game is going to be 2,500 points versus Ogres. The scenario is just there's 5 tokens in the center of the table, spread across the table. Each one's going to be worth 100 victory points if you carry it at the end of the game. So it's nothing too big, but it's a nice little bonus. Taking a look at my army list, I'm still going to have my Black Orc Warlord. I was not wanting to give it up yet. I really want to get the Wog to work because I tried that at Grow Quest, and I declared it 5 out of the 6 games, and I did not get it to work any time at all during 6 games, and that was crazy. I think I might have had it work at one time when I charged like the 5 skeletons, but that doesn't really count. So I also am adding more trolls because I'm not gonna have Butt Stallion, I'm not gonna have Duke of Orc now, so I'm putting those points into trolls, and I'm also going to bring back a Rock Lava. I'm thinking, there's a lot more monsters on the tables now, so a Rock Lava might be a good thing to have. And here we have the Ogres. They're going to have the Slaughtermaster BSB with Crown of Command. And during this game, I'm going to think the Slaughtermaster has the Crown of Command, because this tournament is not an open list. So I just assumed that the Slaughtermaster had Crown of Command. I don't know why I thought that, because I realized this little master has Hellheart, so how could he have 4+ Ward, Hellheart, and Crown Command? But I don't know. I'm not too smart. He's also going to have a Fire Belly level 2, so I'm going to be a little bit worried about that around my trolls. And this Fire Belly is going to get the sword, the Flaming Sword of Ruin, so that it's going to be a unit of the unit of the Lead Belchers. So it's going to be kind of scary to have that shooting at my trolls. So I'm basically going to during deployment, I'm going to have my trolls a little bit away from those Lead Belchers. And he's got the 2 Iron Blasters, but I don't have no big monsters, so I'm not worried about that as most people would be. But I know that my Doom Divers are probably not long for the world. And we'll go take a look at his deployment here, and you'll see these little 3 bull units, and I'm surprised. I mean, now that you've seen this in action, I'm surprised more Ogres don't do this, because I know they're not, terrible. They're not something that you're really worried about, when you see them, but it takes more to get rid of them than they're worth. I mean, their points value is like 115 points or so for 3 of them, and it takes more than that to get rid of them. They're not easy to get rid of, and they can sweep off your chaff really easily, take out your war machines easily. I mean, they're pretty handy, I think. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy to try to get rid of these things, and the rest of his army is centered up here with all his powerful units, and I'm not really as worried about them, but I can't just, rush headlong into them. But I'm really thinking my trolls can take care of the Mornfang. I'm hoping anyway. And here we can see a longer look, and you can see my deployment. I screwed up already in my deployment because my mind was saying put your Doom Divers behind the trolls, so the Iron Blasters, at least on the first turn, would have to kill trolls in order to hurt your Doom Divers. And I sat there and put my trolls behind that Mangler, so that I couldn't get the Doom Divers or the Rock Lava or anything behind the troll. So I'd already screwed up deploying there, but I really wanted those trolls there because I wanted them to be able to charge into their Mornfang. But I should have thought about that more before I put that Mangler down. And this is just a quick look at my vanguards, and I'm just vanguarding up a bit, and I'm hoping I can slow down that big Iron Gut horde there. So he wins the first turn, and this is his movement in the first turn. He's just moving up. Fairly much, but not a whole lot. He's not marching up, but he's moving up. Now we're going to magic here. I'm going to get real lucky right off the bat. His Fire Belly is going to shoot a fireball. I think it's a level 2 fireball at my Wolfriders. You can see it wipes my Wolfriders out. But he miscast on this fireball, and he's going to lose both his levels. So that's going to be a big help to me, because he's no longer going to have the Sword of Ruin. He's not going to have the Fireball. My trolls are going to be okay from fire attacks. But even though I've lost my Wolfriders, but still, this is a very good thing for me. And he's also, I think when those Wolfriders get wiped out, they're going to panic my Spear Chucker just right there, so you can see that Spear Chucker's turn. So he can't shoot. I mean, the Chucker's going to have only one turn to shoot, because his bulls are going to charge it next turn. And the Iron Blasters shoot at me, and I'm not exactly sure what they shoot at. I know they killed one of my Doom Divers, but I don't think they get anything else other than that. Oh, one of them is going to misfire, and it has to shoot in a random direction, but it doesn't do nothing. So for my turn 1, I'm going to go ahead and charge my Wolf Riders at one of his Saber Tusk, and that's going to be the only charge I have, and I'm going to do a regular move up with the rest of my army, but I'm not going to march up as well, because I want to try to stay out of his charge range. I'm going to get a Mangler go way up here and kind of threaten his Mornfang, and I'm not really sure where my other Mangler is. He might have destroyed that with his shooting from his lead belchers, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to go into my magic and shooting, and he's going to spell my Foot of Gork, and I'm not really going to have much other than that. I try to do a headbutt, but it's going to not do any damage. When I go into shooting, my Rock Goblin is going to get a direct hit. Oh, his Iron Blaster here on the right. I'm a wounded, but I'm only going to do 3 wounds. And my 1 Spear Chucker is going to shoot at it and miss. And my Doom Diver is going to do, I think, 1 wound to his Mornfang. So, you know, even with the direct hit, it's still disappointing shooting phase and magic phase for me. In combat, I am going to beat the Saber Tusk, and I'm just going to kill it, and I'm just going to reform my wolves. Okay, Ogre's turn 2, and he's going to put a bull unit on one of my Manglers, and I'm not able to wipe that bull unit out. I only killed 2 of the bulls. He still passes his panic test, and he's sitting there, 1 bull sitting there. So that's very frustrating. Another bull unit is going to charge my Spear Chucker, and there's nothing I can do about it. And his 3rd bull unit is going to charge another Spear Chucker, but fail the charge. Now when we go into his magic and shooting, he's going to get irresistible bubble regen off. And it's going to basically touch everything but the 1 Mornfang on the way on the left. So this is bad. But he's going to roll a 4, so I'm really hoping he's going to get sucked into the warp. He doesn't. He rolls a 5, so he's fine. And then because he got the regen off, he almost does no damage to himself. I think he kills 1 bull total with the wounds caused, or maybe he just does a couple of wounds. I'm not really sure. It doesn't look like any bulls are missing there. So that's very bad for me. But then in shooting, one good thing's going to happen. He's going to get a hit with his Iron Blaster on a Doom Diver, but he's only going to get 1 wound off, so that's going to save my Doom Diver for a turn. But he's going to still destroy a chariot. Then his bulls are going to wipe out my Spear Chucker there, and when they're overrun, the way the bulls facing towards bottom is the way they're facing. The other bulls are just there because, you know, that ruins is there, and you can't be standing on top of the ruins. So Orc and Goblin turn 2, I'm going to charge my Chariot and Wolf Riders at the single bull. And I do that because it's got regen on it, so I want to get that bull out of the way. But I need to have the Chariot in there too because of the regen. I'm not going to have any other charges. I'm going to go into Magic, and I'm going to get a Foot of Gork off, and I'm going to have to put it on. I'm going to start it with that Iron Blaster. Does not have a regen on it. It's going to scatter off, do nothing, and then it's just going to go away. So that was another fail for the Gork. But I'm going to get a lot luckier in shooting. My Lobba's going to hit that Iron Blaster that's wounded and has regen on it. He's going to fail the regen. I'm going to destroy that Iron Blaster. So the Lobba's kind of paying off already. But unfortunately, my Doom Diver just can't do anything to those Mornfang because of the regen. So I'm not able here to do any damage to those Mornfang. And I'm going to kill that. I am going to kill the bull, even with his regen, but my overrun's not going to take me enough to get into those Mornfang, which was I really hoping to do. Now Ogre turn 3, he's going to charge my Chariot, and I don't think I hold. I'm pretty sure I flee, but I don't see my Chariot anywhere. He might have destroyed it later with his Iron Blaster, but I'm not sure. He doesn't really redirect into my wolves. That would be crazy, because it would be too tempting for him. I mean, it'd be too much for a chance for him to go into my trolls, and I don't think he wants to detangle my trolls yet. He's also going to charge his that 3rd bull unit there at my remaining Spear Chucker. And other than that, he's just going to move up a bit. When we go into his magic, the regen goes away. I'm able to stop it from coming back, and I'm able to stop him from getting the +1 toughness. So basically, it's a now or never situation for me going into my turn where I really need to try to take those Mornfang out. So Orc and Goblin turn 3, and that's what I have to do. Those wolves are in the way, so they're going to have to charge the Mornfang along with my trolls. I mean, I'm going to give up combat reliefs for those wolves, but I mean, I got to do it to get those trolls there. So I do it. My troll's going to make it into the combat, so that's going to be very good. But I'm going to give up at least 3 combat reliefs for those wolves. I'm also going to take and put my Great Shaman and Battle Standard Bearer into my Savage Orcs and reform those Night Goblins to face the bulls that are coming down their side there. Try to slow them up some. Now, going to my magic, I'm going to Hand of Gork, Irresistible, and I'm barely going to get my Savage Orcs moved at all. But luckily, I only roll 7 for my miscast, and I just kill like 3 Savage Orcs. Going into combat, though, here, I lose all 3 of the wolves. I get a lot of vomits off, and I kill 2 Mournfang, but I'm not able to break them. So I'm not able to get the main job done that I wanted to get done. And now he's going to get my trolls in the side. So Ogre turn 4, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to charge my trolls on the flank with his big Iron Gut unit. And he's going to charge his Iron Blaster into their other, I don't know if it's in the front of the flank. Either way, he's charging them in there as well. So those trolls are in a whole lot of trouble. And it's going to be worse because he's going to get the bubble regen off again. And so I'm going to have a lot of trouble in combat here. And so, going into the combat, I lose a bunch of trolls, but I put all my vomits that I can into those Iron Mournfang. I get it down to 2 wounds, but I'm not able to wipe them out. And as I do, I think 1 wound to his Iron Blaster. My trolls are going to get run down. He's not going to pursue with his Iron Guts. They're going to reform to face my Savage Orcs. And that's not the end of the world because I'm right there in charge range of those Iron Guts with his characters. And right now they're going to be unsupported basically because he's got his Mournfang and his Iron Blaster going off the other way. So I'm real hopeful for this. Alright, so this is it. Orc and Goblin turn 4. I'm 7 inches away from an Iron Gut unit. I have to go on in there. I'm going to declare Wog. I'm going to drink my potion of strength. I'm going to roll double 1s for my charge, and I'm going to sit there in front of those stinking Iron Guts. And, I don't know. I just, double 1s. What are you going to do? And then I'm going to go into magic. I'm going to miscast. Try to get Foot of Gork. I'm going to kill a bunch of my own guys. It's just a bad turn all around. What else? What can you say? Alright, so my big moment has been destroyed. So this is Ogre turn 5, and now he's able to surround my savages with all his units. So he's going to charge his Iron Guts, his Lead Belchers, and a Bull unit, all of my Savage Orcs. He's not going to get in his magic phase. I'm going to be able to stop the regen and stop the toughness. So he's not going to have those buffs on him. So it's not a total loss. I'm only going to lose by like a couple. And I'm not going to be steadfast, but I'm able to be able to hold. And, basically have to hope for the best for the next turn. Even though I'm going to lose a ton of... You can see I lost a ton of Savage Orcs in this combat. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to have a picture of my turn 5. But I almost have nothing else alive. I think at this point I've got a Doom Diver and these guys. Because here's another Bull unit that's been sweeping through my War Machines. But it's going to get very helpful for me because in my magic phase, I'm going to get Fist of Gork and Ere We Go off on my Savage Orcs. So I'm going to have do a whole bunch of damage here. I'm going to win by 10. I'm going to kill like 3 Lead Belchers, a couple of his Bulls, and a couple Iron Guts. I'm still having just like a challenge between my War Boss and his Slaughter Master, and so far we hadn't wounded each other. But I'm gonna win by 10. His Lead Belchers and his Bulls are gonna break, but I did not realize that the BSB had the Crown of Command. So my big moment here to win the game is gonna go because his Lead Belcher is gonna of course hold, and now he still has more units to charge in on the his turn 6. So this is going to be Ogre turn 6, and as you can see, he's going to charge his Iron Blaster and his last Mournfang into the flank of my Savage Orcs. And so even though I'm going to have 2 buffs off on my unit, it's going to be very bad because I'm really starting to run low on Savage Orcs. And other than that, his Bull is going to charge my last Tomb Diver. So the game is really flying by now. And he's going to get the bubble. I think he gets the +1 toughness bubble off this time and not the regen. And so that's going to make it very tough for anything other than my Fist of Gork Shaman to get any wounds off. The challenge is still going between Slaughtermaster and my Black Orc War Boss. I think I'm going to do one wound to him. He's not going to wound me, but it's not going to really matter. With impact hits and everything, he's going to kill a ton more Savage Orcs. And as you can see, this is how the end of the turn is going to look. You know, I'm going to get it down to where he's only going to have one Iron Gut left, but it's not going to matter. All I'm going to have left in the unit is my Great Shaman and my War Boss. They're actually going to get away, but there's really no point in continuing. I don't have Foot of Gork anymore, so I can rally these guys because they're a new unit because all the big ones are dead. But it's not going to matter. I don't have any offensive magic to do any damage, so I'm going to go ahead and have to concede here. And so this is going to be a victory for the Ogres. The plus side Butt Stallion didn't die. You know, on the minus side Butt Stallion wasn't in the game. But you know, you take your victories where you can. I really thought when I had those buffs off of my savages in that turn, I had the game. And I think it's because when he does his hug heart during the game, and he rolls like a 1, so it does no damage to me. But I was real hopeful because when he had the hell heart, I thought, oh, he doesn't have Cardinal Command. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. I just wasn't thinking that he had it on his BSB and he had no ward on his BSB. And if I realized that, I guess I should have been trying to kill his champion in his Iron Gut unit just to try to get that BSB to have to come forward. And I just didn't think about it. I just thought, you know, he must not have it. I just need to get combat res. You know, and when I win by 10, I think, well, I've got it now. I just didn't realize he had the Crown of Command, and it's just something that didn't occur to me. And I'm gonna blame that on Swedish Comp. I'm gonna blame that because I've been playing. This is my excuse. I played so much Swedish Comp that I didn't think about the Crown of Command. That's my excuse for this game. So mark that in your books and everything. But this is still a real fun game, and it was like a slobber knocker game with like lots of combat, and that's what I like the most about Warhammer. I like it when you have lots of combat and not a lot of movement shenanigans and stuff like that. And we both had like buff magic and no like magic where you just wipe whole units off the board. So my next game is going to be against Vampire Counts. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll try to have that report up in the next few days. And feel free to subscribe or like or comment if you like this video, and I'll talk to you guys next time.